More often than not, a centralized system fails to provide the desired result. Whether it is centralized banking system introduced by Indira Gandhi or distribution pushed by Bolsheviks, that is why the need for privatization arises. Slowly, this cycle is becoming universal. Apparently, privatization provides incentives to the laborers, making the process commercially profitable. Keeping that in mind, the Modi government has set afoot towards privatizing opium market in India. Hi and welcome to TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Piyush, and in this video I'm here to tell you the government's strategy behind privatizing the opium market. Recently, Bajaj Healthcare Limited became the first company in India to get an exclusive government contract to operate in the opium processing sector. Up until now, it was only the government that ran the roster. Now, Bajaj Healthcare will process active pharmaceutical ingredients or APIs from the processing of unlaunched poppy capsules. Additionally, it will also be manufacturing concentrated poppy straw alkaloids. Currently, opium farming as a whole is highly regulated in India. This is because India is one among only 12 other nations that have granted permission to grow legal opium. Opium production all around the world is regulated by United Nations Single Convention on Narcotic Drugs 1961. In spite of having explicit permission, the risk of spillover to black markets does not allow governments to produce it on large scale. Currently, only 3 states, namely Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh, produce opium. In case of any unexpected failures due to unforeseen drought, rain, earthquake, floods or any other natural causes, the farmers have to inform the nodal officer beforehand. Failure to do so invites the wrath of the government and they are not even compensated for the same. Moreover, to ensure that farmers do not cross the permissible limit of production, the government uses drones and other spy mechanisms to keep an eye. Government also uses satellite images from ISRO to make sure no one cultivates opium poppy without a license. The timing of opium cultivation in India coincides with the rabi crops. Seeds are sown during November and extraction of opium takes place in March. Though India is one of the only 12 countries to cultivate gums, it is the only one to have permission to obtain opium gums. Opium gums are extracted from latex derived from the poppy. The government's control over the full process has given birth to multitudes of issues. Until the Abrahamic waves hit India, the process was never so centralized. India's ancient medical literature is full of textbooks elucidating the importance of opium in drugs and medicines. It is believed that the process kicked off well before the Christ era and had been used for the purpose on a mass scale. Textbooks like Bhava Prakash, Sodal, Gadanigrah and Sharangar Samhita describes opium's use in curing diseases like diarrhea and sexual dysfunction among others. Books like Dhanvantri Nighantu and Aine Akbari also describe opium as a crop and not as a socially objectionable product. Later, Dutch and British East India Company started to export it. The government believes that new changes will take production to new heights. According to the reports available in the public domain, the government seems to be in a mood to increase production by 10 times. Only Bajaj Healthcare is targeting to process more than 6,000 metric tons of poppy straw and opium gum in the next 5 years. With the entrance of private companies, farmers will also feel incentivized to produce more. After all, it will be a performance-based job unlike that of licensed Raj.